Introducing ISO Color Edge. Precision is essential for any professional working with images. Whether you're an artist, a retoucher, or a visual effects specialist, you need to know that what you see at the start of a project is precisely what you'll get at the end.
Alright, hi everyone, I am Kelly Brown. I'm your panel mentor for the family category, the Digital Professional Family category here at the Australian Photographic Prize. We're going to kick things off very shortly with a run through of the images, but before we do that, I'm going to read out the category descriptions so that we've got it all fresh in our minds. This category accepts both family photographs and individual maternity and newborn photographs. Family photographs must include 2 or more people sharing a close emotional bond. These images should capture moments of connection, love, intimacy between family members, which can include parents, children, grandparents, and even friends. Maternity photographs can feature a single person and focus on the mother's emotion or bond with their unborn child. Newborn photographs can also feature a single person. These images can be posed, lifestyle, creative, or documentary in style. Original concepts and unique styles are encouraged. However, purchased digital backgrounds are not allowed. Composite images are permitted, provided that digital post-production enhances rather than fundamentally alters the visual message. This category is open to students, amateur and professional photographers. So there is a lot for our judges to take into consideration when looking at these images. Please know that every image entered into this category and all of the categories at the Photographic Prize have been vetted. So I want you to judge the images that do come up in front of you based on your scoring criteria, which you have in your cards, as well as that category description. So we're ready to rock and roll. Let's go. Alrighty, judges, are we ready? We have 5 on our panel and we have 9 judges in total for this particular category, but we're going to kick things off with, in no particular order, we have Alan Moyle, Emily Black, Fiona Hambury, Frances Suter and Jacinta Delben, who are on our panel to start with. And in waiting, ready to come on at any point in time, Katrina Ferguson, Lacey Barrett, Nathan Madigan and Victoria McKay. So all extremely experienced judges in their own right and excited to be here in their own free time, which is an absolute honour. So let's start the family category with our first image, please. So for those of you that are online watching, our judges have a card in front of them with the scoring criteria. We have a full scoring range up to 100, and judges will often refer to their scoring ranges on the card for 75 to 79 for highly commended, 80 to 89 for a silver award, and 90 to 100 for a gold award. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 77. Jacinta, you're right on the average there. Can I get a comment from you, please?
What a beautiful little subject that we're dealing with here, which I'm drawn to, but I think my eye is leading to our brightness on the left-hand side from our sun. I think if we just waited for a little bit longer for that sunrise to lower, it would have a little bit more impact. So just timing.
Thank you very much. Next image, please. So something else you can't see if you are not watching in person here, live at the Photography Studies College, is that every time an image comes up, our judges jump up out of their seats and they come and look at each image, assessing all the different elements before entering their scores. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 77, highly commended. Fiona, you're right near the average. Can I get a comment, please?
Great capture of a time and place, clearly a university cloister, and we have a graduate and a very proud person with them celebrating their achievement, so it's well captured. Skin softening on the male is a little too heavy-handed for my taste.
Thank you. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. Again, we're all very, very close there with our scoring. Emily, you're right on the average of 76. Can I get a comment, please?
Well done in capturing that connection with the little child there. Just think about your cropping. If you're going to leave a foot in, keep the whole foot in or take the whole foot out.
Great feedback, thank you. Next image, please. You'll notice I am saying next image, not next print, because this is a digital category. So our judges are looking at each image on an ASO monitor that is fully calibrated. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 76. And again, you're all so close. Alan, can I get a comment from you, please?
It's been well handled, this photograph, especially with the backlighting. That's been really well done. Again, location is great. I just feel like we need a little bit more something happening with the story. I can see it's like the kids are, just looking at the camera and the parents are kind of acting like kids, but they're not probably kind of having that joyful youth that could be coming through to enhance this story more.
Yeah, and when you've got a lot going on like that with a really busy environment, it can be quite distracting.
And also watch your highlights and where you're placing them. We want to look at faces, And if we go to the cubby house, the kids at the top there are quite dark.
Thank you, great feedback. All right, let's have a quick judge change. Can I please get Kat, Nathan and Lacey to come on for Francis? Yep, you guys, you three, that end. Switching it out here. All right, the family category is sponsored by Godox. We are very grateful for all of our sponsors here at the Australian Photographic Prize. Without them, none of this could be possible. All right, as our judges log in here, we are going to move on to our next image, please. As I said, we're going to rotate our judges, keep them nice and fresh. But each of our judges brings a completely different perspective to the competition. They all have their own level of experience and skills. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 79, and we have a challenge by Kat. Well done.
Yeah, wow, come on, guys. Come join me. Look, I think this is a delightful family portrait. I think there's a lot of, his uniform obviously it's imperfect, it's gritty. He has a sense of pride about him. This is like an Australian portrait. We've got the gold and the green. We've got the ginger hair against the blue. A lot of complementary colours happening there. It's poised, it's posed, but we still have a good sense that, this is an Aussie dad. He's proud. He's got this one-handed hold of this baby, which he's perfectly content with. It's very neat. It's clean. Well and truly what did I put it in? Silver. Well and truly a high silver. So let's talk about it. What's holding you back?
All right, Nathan.
Yeah, I'm a little bit lower. I struck it as a highly commended for all the reasons you said. It feels so literal that this guy said, I've got a new baby and this is what I do and I can get this together. And the photographer said, yeah, I can make this work. And the photographer captured it light-wise, studio-wise. It's great. Beautiful, highly commended image. I just feel like the context for this shot should have more than a green studio backdrop. So I don't know where to go outside of, you did your job and it's a beautiful expression.
All right, thank you, Nathan. Jacinta, can I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, I'm with you, Kat. Although this is quite a simple image, it has been handled really, really well with our colour tones that we're working with here. And as a few have mentioned, there's grit there, but there's also really beautiful softness that reflects that newborn. So you've got the two personalities. You've got that softness of, I'm new dad, but I'm a buff sort of fireman. And the two just correlate, and the simplicity of it is just beautiful. The sharpness and the lighting on the faces are just gorgeous. I agree, it needs to move up into the silver.
All right. Do we have anyone else that would like to add before Kat has her round of reply? Excellent. Kat?
Okay, so arguably a silver. I really don't think there's anything holding this out of the silver range. No, I think it's all been said. Yes, sorry, just with the studio backdrop, I get what you mean, but again, it just adds to the juxtaposition. Like it's this sort of rugged portrait, but it's in the studio, but it all still communicates effectively. Come up to silver, please.
All right, thank you, judges. We're now going to ask you to rescore. Kat, if you can keep your score at 88, please. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 82. All right, well done. Next image, please. All right, right, as I said, GoDocs are our sponsor for this category, and the winner, the Australian winner of the family category, wins a trophy. The title of 2024 Australian Family Photographer of the Year. They also go into the running to win the professional division and a GoDocs lighting prize worth $1,000. The international winner of the family category wins a trophy and the title of 2024 International Family Photographer of the Year. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 74. And you're all quite close there. Can I please get a comment? Alan, thank you.
Well handled with the lighting, the backlighting coming through here, giving you the soft on the foreground. I feel the context of what's happening here it needs a little bit more explanation. We've got a tennis ball and we've got a soccer ball in the foreground, but it doesn't quite fit with the styling of the clothes and what's actually happening with the image.
Okay, great feedback. Thank you. Next image, please. All right, so the Australian winner, not the international winner, but the Australian winner, will go into the running to win the overall Australian Digital Photographer of the Year, winning a Nikon Australian voucher valued at $5,000, depending on where you're listening from. In Australia, we say Nikon. In America, they say Nikon. If you are online and you are watching and you live in Melbourne, please come down and see us tomorrow or later, maybe not later today, depending on where you live. But come join us. We've got lots of people here in the live audience watching. No better classroom. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 70. No, we don't. That was a software problem and a Kelly problem. We have a score of 83. Alrighty. Kat's got the mic on 91.
Yeah.
Take it away.
Yeah, let's chat about it. And I appreciate 91 is high, but I'm comfortable there. I think I haven't seen this before. It's got a lot of quirk, a lot of personality. There are lots of different faces in there and expressions that you can read and enjoy. What I'm presuming is to be 3 children and a parent. Each child is represented twice. It's got a lot of, it works. It's interesting, it's engaging. Again, I'm presuming it's the mother in the middle. She's certainly the anchor point. She pulls our attention. Please tell me, come up to gold, if not silver. But yeah, I'm at gold in the family category.
All right, we're going to go to the other end of the scoring range here and hear from Jacinta.
Yeah, I can appreciate it as original. We haven't seen probably something like this before, but I feel that our subjects are just standing and looking at a camera and pulling a face. There's no connection within each subject there. I can't really understand their personalities and how they all correlate, which is what I want from this image. We've got quite a lot of highlights at the top there that are sort of dragging me out of the image. And then our third image in on the left, the pants of that subject is just really, really drawing me out of probably where I should be. See those purple pants at the bottom? It just doesn't fit in the image. So I can appreciate it's original, but I wanted more, but I just couldn't find it.
All right, Nathan, can I get a comment, please?
Great, it's a question. I'm already up there in the fairly solid silver, whatever we're calling it, mid-silvers. So initially, it's a bit jarring, like, oh, this isn't a perfectly attractive family image. And yet, it's probably true for this family. They're a little bit funky. But what really got me, and my question is, does this improve it enough to get it to gold? Is this a really valuable piece? The more we look at these layers of humans, back in the second reflection, the third reflection, they're all different portraits, and some of them are so soft and so vulnerable. and they're not presenting this perfect image, but there's just a really warm laugh, and there's this sultry look, and then a really natural laugh over the right, and just a little bit lost on the left. And the more you look into it, there's not a connection with each other, but there is a certain connection, disconnection with each singular character with themselves. And there's a lot to process. Whether or not it completely works for gold, I'd need to hear from others. There's a lot in it.
Lacey, do you have anything to add? No? All right, Kat.
Yeah, the connection point for me comes in the fact that they've chosen to present them together in this way. So how do you get them, looking at each other? For me, it works that they're looking directly, direct eye contact. And I think what Nathan said in terms of this family's quirk, I think it's really been highlighted and demonstrated well. So I feel that I'm struggling to get you up to a gold, and that's totally fair enough, but I'm definitely asking you to come high silver.
Thank you so much. Okay, judges, if you could please re-enter your scores. Kat, if you could keep yours at 91. All right, thank you. We have some movement at 87. Definitely what we want to see. All right, let's have our next image, please. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 77. Okay, thank you, Jacinta. Jacinta's on 82. She's going to challenge this.
What a beautiful, beautiful moment. It looks so natural between that mother and son. I'm presuming it's mother and son. We've seen a lot of images through a window through COVID, but this is very different. At first, I'm thinking, are we in a train? Are we in a shed? Are we in a shack? Where are we? It's making me think. But it's so old worldly, and what they're wearing correlates with the scene that we're in. It's been handled really well. The lighting that we're dealing with in a dark room, and to be able to have all those details there are just beautiful. It's a gorgeous portrait, and I think it deserves to be sitting in the silver.
All right, thank you. Alan, can I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, I feel it's a great location, and it's a great portrait. I feel I'm missing a little bit more of that sort of story. Yes, there's a good connection with the mum to the child, and the child's connected outside. I just want to see a little bit more of the child. I want to get more of that expression. I want to see and feel more what is sort of happening. And then also we've got the, I'm not sure what it is in the foreground, that sort of blocking scene. Admittedly, if we probably saw through there, it may not work as well because the highlights potentially drags down. But I just, that blocking, I'm not sure what exactly that is and if it adds to our story.
Nathan, comment, please.
Yeah, I have to, because I saw this as a gorgeous portrait maker. It's just glorious everything. And I thought, this is a piece of a story. This must be in a series, because we don't have the child's face, so it's not that thing where the child's looking out the window and there's two people happy. So now I have two stories. One is the disconnected. We don't have the child's face, so it's not that perfect portrait, but the portrait maker did an amazing job of crafting it. Or is this about the mum and how closely she's watching him while he's watching whoever's outside, whoever's leaving, whoever's arriving, and then it's a whole different narrative about, the mum and the child when traditional kind of arrangements have the other partner somewhere else, and that whole scene. And I'm introducing a story that it may not be evident, so I'm just asking whether or not that's a valid story.
All right, thank you. And your right of reply, please, Jacinta.
I think Nathan pretty summed up the way I viewed this image. I feel that it's more about the mother and the connection with her son rather than the son's connection with the mother. That expression on her face, what they're looking at outside, it's a story. You can read into it, you can take out of it what you wish. I think it's beautiful. I think we only need a couple more points. Let's bring it up into the silver.
All right, thank you, judges. If you could please re-enter your scores, and Jacinta keeping your score at 82. I don't think so, no. All right, judges, thank you. We have a score of 80. All right, well done. Now, before we get our next image, let's do another quick rotation. Alan and Jacinta, can I get you guys to jump off? And could I please get Fiona and Victoria to jump on? All right, let's have our next image, please. So next to the judges' names here, it says years. And when I first looked at it, I went, there's no way that Nathan's 15 years old. That's how long he has been a photographer for. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 76. That is highly commended. And Lacey, you're quite close to the average. Can I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, we've got some beautiful connection here between Mum and Bub. I think in order to bring this image up just into that next scoring range, I feel like the treatment, the post-production of this is quite heavy-handed. There's some kind of burnt edges around the corners, and I appreciate that this is going for more of a vintage sepia feel. But I think if the artist were to pull back some of those colors, that we could clean that up and really elevate this image.
Absolutely.
And watch the
Thank you.
highlights.
Yeah, great feedback. Next image, please. All right, so for those of you online listening, we're not laughing at the image. Someone's just making a lot of noise here in the audience, trying to be careful, quiet. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 77. And you're all, again, very close there to that average. Kat, could I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, this is very nicely done. Congratulations. It just feels a little bit stilted. Had it to get it up into the next range, a more sort of animated, engaging moment. Yeah, it feels a little bit too forced.
All right, thank you. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 83. And we've got a challenge from Kat on 88.
Yeah, I actually thought I was going a bit low. So this is, yeah, let's talk about it. Okay. Yeah, I feel like narrative concept in here is excellent. Well, like the story is clear in terms of motherhood. It's not all it's cracked up to be. It's difficult. It's a mess. All those sorts of things. I'll tell you. Oh, no point me telling you what held me back, is there? Yeah, it is a strong conceptual image, and I think it is an important message that is worthy of discussion. So I'm glad we're here. Colours and tones are nice, obviously, except for the bits that aren't supposed to be nice in terms of the jarring, white nappies and synthetic plastic, bits and bobs that comes with having a baby. Yeah, look, let's talk about it. Tell me what's holding you back. What did it settle on, sorry, at the moment?
It scored an 83 and you're on 88.
I'm an 88. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I'm definitely confident this belongs in high silver. Please, let's talk about it.
All right, Nathan?
Yeah, it needs to be talked about. The message is strong and immediate, almost to the point of staged, except that I kind of believe it. And that's really powerful. If we can actually believe that the character there, she's set up because she actually feels it. So that's a credit. But I'm a bit lower than you because now that we've got the message, all these other elements just need a little bit more tweaking. The shadows are too dark. We're not getting all these really great elements. If we're going to put an element in the picture, we need at least just a little bit more so we can not lose ourselves trying to find the pieces so much as recognise that they're there and place them amongst the larger story. So it's just there, and I don't know how an open doorway makes a light shape like that, unless it's a curtain pulled across, so you can help me out with that. But it's just the overall technique pulled it back from that really incredible initial image. But honestly, I'm listening. Okay.
Lacey?
Yeah, I think to address the lighting, it reminds me of a spotlight, like when the lights come on from above. And the control of this is actually, I think, done fairly well because there's no raccoon eyes. So that lets me know that there was another light source that was coming in to fill that above lighting. But the stark difference with the perfectly posed, beautiful newborn and that story there. What I'm up here with you, Katrina. So I'm really glad. I was just 1 point away from challenging. I think what took me out of scoring it higher was the skin tone of Mum. However, I'm listening and really want to bring this up.
Fiona, would you like to add anything?
I think Nathan saw what I saw. If it was a crack of the door, it's not quite the right shape. I do feel that it's perhaps been over narrated. It's very clear what the message is. We are digging through the shadows, trying to find our little cookies that we love so much as judges, and I just feel that we've been a little bit forced into that cone of light. Just a little back off on that would have definitely taken me higher in score. I'm right on the average, so keep talking.
All right, Kat, you're right to reply.
Yeah, look, just to simply say that what has been said in the negative is what kept me out of gold. I'm still quite happy up in the high silver and would encourage you to come. In terms of the darkness, motherhood, it can plunge you into the deepest, darkest depths. Wow, say that 10 times at times. So I think that's probably just another nod to that sort of time or moments in motherhood that can happen. And yeah, as for the light, it's not supposed to be literal. We've got a melting clock on the wall, so it's sort of exactly as what Lacey said. It's a spotlight on this issue, and yeah, high silver. Please come join me.
All right, thank you, judges. We're currently at 83. Please re-enter your scores. Fiona would like to change her score, please. All right, the keypads that we are using are a little touchy, so. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 86. in these categories, every single point counts, and I'm sure that the entrants are extremely valuable for all of your feedback. Next print image, please. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 77. That's a highly commended. Now, it's quite a few of you are very similar there within that scoring range. And Kat's on 82, and we're going to challenge it. Well done.
Sorry, but I know as an entrant, if someone's sitting there and they're not backing their score, I find that an issue. So I'm going to back my score. Yeah. Thank you. Take a breath. 82, I gave it. So silver award. Yes, this is clearly a silver award. They are physically very, very well connected, not overly posed. You know, they've encouraged to be in this, pose as such, but the mum's, she's just digging herself into these kids. It doesn't have to be this perfect, poised, exact moment. It's been very well handled. It's pin sharp where it needs to be. Kids are having fun. I mean, in terms of a family portrait, yeah, this hits the mark. And I think choosing to have it in a circular crop really helps to just elevate it to that next sort of considered level. It's not just a straight out of camera capture, and the separation between the foreground and the background in terms of sharpness and falling off out of focus works well too.
All right, thank you. Kat, can I get a comment, please, from Vicky?
Yeah, I can see what you're saying, Kat, that it is beautifully executed. I can feel that emotional pull, that joy of the mum, the cheekiness of the little one. I felt like there was nothing happening on the right-hand side. I'd sort of lost a bits and pieces, but I'm sitting here looking at through your eyes and I can see what you're saying, so I'm willing to come up a bit.
All right, and Nathan, have you got something to contribute to?
Yeah, I'd love to. Part of why we're even doing this is so that photographers out there enter something and then they get all of our input, and so they can go and be even greater. And so I have to say that this photographer nailed the expression. Like, this is why the photographer probably chose to put it in. They just went, oof, I nailed it. This is so beautiful. There's a talent there. And so as a contributor from the industry, the circle crop probably isn't needed for this particular image. The background separation is separated because it's almost a muddy nothing, but there is something there. So it's either a studio backdrop or it's trees, but it's just a little bit too muddy. I'm saying all this because it's such a great capture. And so at least let the photographer continue to go, how can I add just the technical edges to this? Because I have talent. Now let's elevate it to that award level, because this is just a highly commended, professional image. Even if they're not a professional, it's really good. But I don't know, I don't know if we should award professional portraiture, even though the expression is priceless.
Okay, thank you. Kat, you're right to reply?
Yeah, no, I think it's all been said. Thank you.
All right, thank you, judges. If you could re-enter your scores, Kat leaving yours at 82. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 78. So we did move a point, and I'm sure that feedback is extremely valuable. All right, before our next image, we're going to do another quick change of judges. Emily and Francis, can I get you to come on for Lacey and Kat? Alan, can I get you to come on for Nathan, please? So as I said, we're going to keep rotating our judges throughout this category. Plus, we've not long had lunch, so we don't want anyone to get sleepy. All right, judges, let's have our next image, please. The family category is quite a diverse category. It's exciting to see the judges get up out of their chairs. They look at every pixel. Yes, Nathan, can you jump back on for Alan, please? And at any point in time, our judges can step off for whatever reason. They may know the entrant, or they may have seen the image before, or it might not be something that they feel that they are comfortable in judging, just for whatever reason. That's why we have lots of judges here ready to go. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 83. And Emily has her hand up and she is out of her chair getting that microphone on 92 with a challenge.
Okay. You know how I know if an image is good? Because my heart rate lifts. And the mother in me loves this image so much because that is what connected the mother and the child. This is the umbilical cord, right? But that little red bit is kind of like the shape of a heart, like a real live human heart. And that was where the connection was. And this is a really beautiful take on a really beautiful, not celebrated enough in this category, detail, because it often is covered in a lot of the images or worked around. So I would love to bring this up further. This is courageous and it's beautiful. The tones are lovely and there's so much story in this detail.
Frances.
Yes, absolutely agree, Emily. I felt very much the same when I saw that. It's a very emotional, very strong, powerful image, which I haven't really seen before. Also, I like how it's presented to us in a round form. And the round goes really well with the subject in the belly. I think it's fabulously presented. I just wanted a little bit more detail, a little bit more texture in all the details in the image. Just found it a bit blurred in some, and I found that really, really important to see every single bit.
Vicky, or Fiona's got her hand up.
I was with Em. When this first popped up on our screen, I wanted to go straight to gold for all the reasons that Em talked about, that beautiful connection to motherhood, the connection to the new life. I didn't see a heart, I saw like a blossoming rose or like a new beginning. But once you get up close and we're talking about a gold here, I needed greater depth of field. I needed all of that umbilical cord to be sharp, not the whole belly, not the whole belly button, but the umbilical cord all to be sharp. And unfortunately, it's not. And that's what stopped me going into gold.
All right, Emily, or if anybody else has anything to add to this? No? Emily, you're right to reply.
Oh, oof. Okay, I can see your point, Fee, but I can totally go past that. This is a macro image where the detail has been focused in on. We've got the story, we've got the image here, and it's been so beautifully presented in those circles. The world, this child is the world, that heart was the world, like it's all happening here. This is well deserving of a gold. Come up with me, please.
All right, thank you, judges. Emily, if you can keep your score at 98. Judges, if you can please rescore. 92, sorry. All right, thank you. We have a score of 87. As we've said before, every single point counts. Well done. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 79. Vicky, you're right on the average there. Can I get a comment, please?
Congratulations to the artist. This is a strong image. It's full of emotion. It's full of joy. There's that embrace that makes me feel like the older man has just arrived and they're so happy to see him. I think the location for me wasn't quite right for that sort of embrace to take me up to a silver level, but I think that all the other details are just beautiful.
Yeah, just a lot going on there in the background, competing for all of that emotion and movement. Can I do a quick judge change? Oh, hang on. Yes, absolutely. All right, we're going to do a quick judge change. Jacinta and who else have I got in here at the moment? Lacey's disappearing to another room very quickly. Actually, Jacinta, if you can just jump on for Fiona. And we'll go again with our next image, please, and then we'll do another change shortly. Yeah, Francis. Kat, can you just jump on for Kat? Can you jump on for Francis, please? Thank you, judges. We have a score of 80. Well done. And Emily is on 86. She's going to challenge this.
I'm going to try and get this a few extra points. We're going to stay in silver, guys, because I can see some things in it that maybe would holding us back from gold. This is well and truly a striking image that powerfully communicates to us. I would have gone up to gold if I could understand the relationship between the two. There's some things there that held me back, but I'm definitely thinking it's worth a few more points up into that high silver range, please.
All right, thank you, Emily. Can I get a comment, please, Jacinta?
Sorry, Em, I probably can't see what you're seeing. I'm trying to work out what the story is here. We're looking into their eyes, but is there something in the iris that we're meant to be looking at here which I can't find, and it's not sharp? I feel like it's been overworked, overburnt around the eyelashes, and then the softness of the skin. Yeah, I'm just struggling a little bit here, but if you can talk to me a bit more.
Alan, can I get a comment from you, please?
I see this as parent and child. So you've got parent on left, child on the right. Again, I'm just looking at skin textures here. That's my kind of base. So it's got an older sort of skin. You've also got what I'm going to assume is the mother on the left there, and she's straight and she's strong, and she has that strength in her face, whereas the child has put the cheek in and is tilted into the mum. So to me, there's that sort of strength that comes from this photo, which we don't see, but it is definitely implied with the way that diagonal kind of forces it through the image. So for me, that's why I'm up in that silver range.
All right, right of reply, Emily?
Yeah, thanks, Ellen. I think we've got the younger of the two on the right, and the skin reflects that. There's makeup and stuff going on the left there. It's a bit smudged, it's a bit worn. I feel like I'm getting a hint towards a tear, but I'm not quite sure. It could have been stronger, maybe with a more panoramic crop to really hone us in on those eyes. But these are the window to the soul. There's a youthfulness on the right, and there's a grown-upness on the left. I think it's definitely worth coming up higher in that silver range and really rewarding the photographer for the bravery in communicating to us this way.
All right, thank you, judges. We're currently at 80. If you could please re-enter your scores. Emily, keeping yours at 86. All right, we have a score of 82. All right, Francis is coming back on. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 82. Could I get a comment, please, from Jacinta? You're right on the average.
This is super cute, super quirky, like Jack in the Box almost. And there's just the formation, how we're going in a triangular form. We're dealing with high key here, but yet we can still see all the details, which is beautiful. I actually really like the expression on the middle in the box, and I feel that should have been the last expression. That's the only thing.
All right, great, thank you. Before we have our next image, we'll do another quick judge change. Nathan, can you come on for Alan? And can we also get Fiona to come on for Vicky? And Kat for Emily, please. Sorry. If you're getting comfortable. All right, let's have our next image, please. All right, thank you, judges. We have a score of 79. And Francis has put a hand up on 84 to challenge.
Yes, I just think, first of all, composition, colour palette, it's just very beautifully arranged. It flows very well. I can see that sort of triangle working together beautifully as a composition. But then there's just details in there which I found quite emotional, especially of the young man on the right-hand side. His toes are curled up, and I really think that makes the image for me. I feel like he's nearly holding together that image, that triangle, which then is supported by that outer circle. I found it quite an emotional image. And then the dog, who also feels like is a bit of a support person in the image, and his expression is very trustful and supportive. So I just think you should have another look at it, and yeah, definitely it should go into silver range. Please come up with me.
Nathan, can I get a comment from you, please?
Sure, just quickly, I appreciate everything you see, and I agree, which is why I just thought it was a highly commended solid image. This photographer knows what they're doing. They should do a whole series of these. Their clients will love it. If anything, there's a magenta cast from the floor up, which may just be skin, but it still is distracting in terms of the warmth of the rest of the image. But outside of that, I scored it highly commended.
Jacinta or Kat, either of you, both
Just
of
quickly to explain why I am in commended and not in silver. I actually, if you look at the ring, the wreath, but the actual man-made part of it, it's not real. It's been done, like it's been digitally added or what have you. That pulled me back, but that is nitpicking, fair enough. This is a beautiful family, and I totally agree with the curling toe situation. This sibling, I'm assuming sibling, no, sorry, I should stop. I know these are siblings. The curling toe communicates quite a lot, and this is definitely a nice family portrait, absolutely. High level, absolutely.
Jacinta.
Yeah, just a few more things, Francis, I struggle with a little bit is our actual backdrop, the darkness that's from the top. I feel like the backdrop needed to be put in a better place than what it currently is, which is causing that shadow. And we've actually got a colour cast which is reflecting from the gentleman that's sitting, the blue, which is following through onto the dog's hair. So we're getting that blue tone that's going through there as well. Just those few technical things is what sort of holds you back from going up into that silver range.
All right, and your right of reply, please, Francis.
Yes, look, I think that's, I took that on board. The skin tones, I don't mind. Everyone has got very different skin tones. Getting your photo taken can make some people also nervous, which can bring a little bit of a cast in the skin as it is. For me, that wasn't actually an important point. I was more looking at the emotional aspect of the image, and I just thought it was put together really well. I could see that little fault in the round circle there. However, I think it's a very important part of the image because it holds it all together. So it's just that little bit of holding everything together and framing it nicely. So yes, once again, I just think you should come up a bit and bring it into silver range.
All right, thank you, judges. We're currently on 79. If you could please re-enter your scores. Francis keeping yours at 84. And we're going to stay at 79, but great discussion and excellent feedback. All great points. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 75. Could I get a comment, please? Jacinta, can I get a comment from you, please?
This is a really beautiful family image. I think to bring it up to the next stage, what will help is really hard to deal with when we're doing backlight, and there's obviously no light that's coming on our three subjects here, which is hard to deal with because that's where our central focal point is. But turning this to black and white could just really lift it, and just adding a little bit more light in the centre. The saturation's a little bit high, but definitely changing this to black and white would have way more impact.
All right, thank you. Great feedback. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 79. And I might get a comment, if I can, from Fiona.
Congratulations to the photographer on capturing a great image between owner and pet. It is a terrific bond, and to see this transition from approaching each other and coming together in unity in the middle is beautiful. I'm not sure what would have elevated it for me, perhaps a little more detail on the shadows, but well done.
Thank you, judges. Next image, please. We have a score of 76, and you're all very close there. Can I get a comment, please, from Francis?
Yeah, lovely portrait, well styled. The choice of the warm colours, you know, so close to giving birth, I thought that works really, really well. I'm just a little bit unsure about that shadow that goes right across her face, because I think that's possibly not needed, so probably just a little change in the light.
Yeah, and a quick comment, Nathan?
Yeah, ditto. It would have worked if she wasn't looking at the camera. It's only because she's engaging us that shadow's in the way. If it was just Artie looking back down at her belly, that would have just been kind of quite interesting.
Yeah, excellent feedback. Thank you. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 81. Jacinta, you're right on the average. Can I get a comment from you, please?
Yeah, super fun. This is awesome. The dog made that image, that's for sure. The only thing that held me back from going a little bit higher is I still, even though they've got an expression and they're pulling a face, I still felt it was staged. It didn't feel natural to me. That was the only thing that held me back.
Okay, great feedback. All right, before we have our next image, let's do another quick judge change. Emily, Alan and Vicky, can you please come on for Nathan, Kat and Fiona? And then we'll do another change shortly. I'm sorry. It's actually very hard to keep up with who's been where and when and for how long. But you're all doing an amazing job, and that's what this is all about. Every single one of our judges, let's go ahead with our next image. Every single one of our judges is giving up their valuable time to be here because they love this industry. They love photography and they want to celebrate all of our hardworking entrants. Talk about hardworking. Everybody here at the Australian Photographic Prize has been working very hard behind the scenes to make this not only available for people to come down to the Australian Photographic College here in Melbourne to watch in person, but for everyone that can watch online and learn from this as well. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 85. And you're all there in silver. So if I could get a comment, please, from Alan. No, absolutely. Emily, would you like to make a comment? You liked this print, this image? Sorry, so used to saying print.
This has been very well handled. Even the posing, the lighting, the post-production has all been handled really beautifully. So congratulations to a really strong silver. That's right, yeah?
And Jacinta, yes.
Just one thing is just watch your casting. There's a little bit of a green tone over all that's going on the skin. So just have a look at your skin tone. That's it.
Thank you, judges. Next image, please. Great feedback. So to give you an idea of what our judges are looking for in terms of the scoring category and criteria, a silver, which was just awarded, description is strong visual and emotional impact, superior level of narrative, concept and interpretation of the subject, very high level of technique, post-production, skill and image quality, very high standard for professional client or self-commissioned work. So each of the scoring ranges come with their own description for our judges to use. Thank you, judges. We have a silver award at 84. Vicky, could I get a comment, please?
Congratulations, this is definitely deserving of silver. What I love about this is obviously the narrative. It's the year of the tiger. This child's proudly born in it, holding its tiger. But I also love the use of the colour palette, the complementary colours. It just made it pop. Really well done.
Thank you. Yeah, Alan.
Sorry. One thing that I would have loved to have gone really, really high with this one as well, except we've got our main highlight is on the legs and the hand, but not on the face. That made me go, oh, I want that. I want that. This is amazing. You've done amazing. Just look at where that's going.
Excellent feedback. Let's have our next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 79. All right. Emily is on 88. She's going to challenge this. We had two judges then both wanting to challenge, but Emily's going to take it away. And we're currently sitting at 79.
Okay, so clearly I've got Alan up there with me. This has been executed beautifully. We've got silhouette, but we've got detail, we've got form, we've got shape, we've got detail in that hairline. This is a stunning graphic image of new life. I definitely think it needs to come up higher than where it's sitting.
Jacinta.
Yeah, I can appreciate everything that you've mentioned, and that's why I've awarded it in the professional standard range. I'm really struggling with that hand and those knuckles there. It just looks, to me, it doesn't flow with that feminine figure, the way that hand placement is. I think if we could have moved that slightly, it would have changed the whole realm of the image. It's just really jarring right in the centre of the image there. And even her hair, I feel like it almost looks like her hair is out of place, but it's not. It's just the lighting. But I think if you could adjust that slightly to get that smooth flow on her hairline there, it just would have elevated it a little bit more.
I know Alan would like to say something.
No. Yes. This is a no-nonsense pregnancy shot. This has, I'm professional. I am a professional. I'm a serious woman. I'm getting this done. It's showing that, again, the form, the pose is done very, very well. Having the, I can't think of what to call it. I'm just going to call it the sock. Just wearing something that is, covering that works. Sorry? Form-fitted dress. There we go. Just how that I've got no words now, how it really does bring that form in. I think the hair works great because, again, I feel this is a professional, no-nonsense kind of person. It is showing strength, it's showing power. A lot of the time we see a lot of pregnancy shots which are beautiful and sweet and delicate and romantic. This is going the opposite direction. This is just, not everyone is that. And so I love that this brings that out.
All right, Frances, do you have anything that you would like to contribute? No? Yes?
No, I think
No?
yeah.
Okay, let's have a writer reply, please, Emily.
Yeah, there's a sensuality and a power to this. She's a woman who is potentially a career woman that's going into this new phase of her life, and she's going into it with strength and purpose. And I think that comes through, and it's been handled beautifully by the photographer. They know exactly what they're doing, and it definitely deserves silver.
All right, thank you, judges. Could we please get you to rescore? Emily, keeping your score at 88. We're currently at 79. We have a score of 82. All right, before we have our next image, let's do another quick judge change. Frances and Jacinta, can I get Kat and Fiona to jump on, please? And next image, please. Right, we've had a big day already here today at the Australian College of Photography, not at the Australian College of Photography. It's the Photography Studies College at the Australian Photographic Prize. There's a lot of words to remember. And tomorrow we have another big day planned. So if you are in the area, please come join us. We have Adam Horrigan giving a workshop. We have Kelly Barker giving a workshop. And on Sunday, Nathan Madigan's giving a workshop. There is lots going on here. So please come down, see us. Lots to learn, lots to be inspired by. Thank you, judges. Yep, Vicky needs to enter her score. It hasn't entered, yeah, your score hasn't come in through yet. All right, thank you. We have a score of 77. And you're all quite close there. That is a high commended image. Could I actually get a comment from you, Vicky? You're very close to the average.
Well done. What a beautiful generational photograph. There's so much joy in it. There is connection. It looks to me like 3 siblings and their families with the grandparents in the front. Well done. Beautiful location. I just find it slightly unbalanced. I'm not sure if the 2 families on the left are a bit far back. Something like that might have just brought it up a little bit more for me, but that's a very well executed image.
Alan, did you want to contribute anything?
Yeah, I can. I feel like there's lots of movement, great movement happening and connections with the families. I want to probably see more of the families. Like a lot of the kids' faces are cut off and we can't kind of see. We can get the movement and the energy, just we can't kind of get that expression, so backs to the camera. And also, most of the clothing works and is in that sort of colour palette. But then on the far left, you've got the white dress, which is really just pulling you right over there. So I think looking at addressing those things, and also Mum is definitely doing a bit of a cheese smile. So a bit more love to come through there.
All right, thank you, great feedback. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 76, and you're all very close there. Kat, could I get a comment from you, please?
Sure, yeah, I definitely encourage this photographer. You're well and truly on the right track. Just be careful, we've lost the second foot of this child, which makes it a little bit sort of awkward and uncomfortable, and perhaps just soften your lighting a little. But yeah, well done, keep going, don't be disheartened, it's a good job.
Yeah, great feedback. Next image, please. Still waiting on yours, Alan. Just waiting on, yep, there we go. We have a score of 76. And again, judges, you're all very, very similar there. Fiona, can I get a comment from you, please?
I just wanted to congratulate the photographer on knowing where to put all of those arms and legs. That's a lot of arms and legs to put in position, and you've done that exquisitely. You've got lovely connection between our cast members. The only feedback I really wanted to give was the really cool colouring down the bottom of the image, which makes the skin tones really cool, and that's contrasting too much with the warmth up the top. So just balance that out and you'd be on your way. Good job.
Right, excellent feedback. Okay, before our next image, Alan, can you jump off? And Nathan, can you please come on? I like to keep a nice balance going here. And Lacey is back in the room. We're going to do another change shortly. So let's go ahead and have our next image, please. See, I'm so unpredictable. You guys don't know what I'm going to do next. So for those of you watching online, the reason that I'm changing judges so often is because I do like to keep them on their toes and like to keep it fresh, but also because if you are a judge, no one likes sitting on the bench. No one likes being a bench warmer. Everybody wants to be here judging and having a good turn. So I like to keep them all moving so everyone gets a nice amount of time on the panel because they all have so much knowledge and experience to share with our entrants. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 83. And we have a challenge from Nathan on 89.
Am I alone?
No.
All right, okay, so this is just a masterful capture of the mundane, really. It's just a family photo, you know. It's just a family photo. It's just in the living room, but the attention to every single detail by both the photographer and the subjects is really quite high. Obviously, the subject said, no, we want it to look a little like this. And the photographer said, all right, well, let's really make it look like this. We've got so much identity in the bookshelves, but every expression is really, really deliberate. It's this culture, there's often that expression, but generally that's by the older generations, and the younger ones are a bit more fun, but they're just rocking that straight down the barrel, not smiling. And then it breaks for some of the older generation, like the gentleman sitting down, he's slouching, he's got some sass. I'm really reading a really fun story into all of this. And so I just got the highest silver without falling into gold that I could, because I thought this is worthy of talking about a lot. It's an editorial shot, it's a magazine page, but it holds expression really well. These are strangers, and I'd enjoy this on a wall. I'd put this in a gallery. It's a really great snapshot and documentary of life. Then that dog is just... Anyway, I'm on 89, just to see how we can get this in this range.
All right, Fiona?
I think I may be a little shy. I think I sat back and went, it's definitely silver, but where in silver? I've been shy, and I'm definitely coming up, because I do want to commend the photographer on those beautiful straight verticals, those fabulous leading lines at the carpet and even the wall and the print on the wall, all bringing us into the family, and how they've dealt with the highlight on the frame in the background. I wonder if it's just being nitpicky to say, could you have retouched the highlights on the glasses? Just to be that little bit nitpicky would have taken me into potential a really high silver. But the more I sit here with it, I love it. It's fabulous. Well done.
All right. Emily, yes, has got her hand up.
Okay. I was definitely too shy. Okay. The only thing that held me back originally was I was trying to make sense of what the red things are at the feet of what I'm assuming is the father, and I think they're really fun slippers. But what has happened as we've sat here and looked at this image, those photos on the mantelpiece in the background are the parents and the dog. And it's tied it in beautifully. Like, this is all these little tiny nuggets that we look for are there. So I'm absolutely moving up. It's a story in a story.
All right. Before we have our round of reply, did anybody have anything else that they would like to contribute? No? Nathan, take it away.
All right, so at the end of the day, there are photos in a room to be judged for the best of whatever, and there's only 5 of them, so every point really does count. And there's some beautiful, and there's some well-crafted, and then there's this, which is simple and editorial. It does have reflections and some funky shoes, and I think that contributes. And not only that, this is kind of hourglassing in a way that I can see what happens the moment after this image. I can see the explosion of laughter, the head shake, the whatever, the dog going, what just happened? And there's a little bit of infinity into this one moment, and I'm really enjoying how long this is lasting for me. I would enjoy a series on a wall in a gallery of this. So if you're feeling shy, I'm stuck on 89, but don't be shy. Let's see how high this can go.
All right, judges, great conversation. Nathan, can you please keep your score at 89? We're currently at 83. If you could please re-enter your scores. And just referring to what Nathan was saying about 5, is that the top 5 images from each category go through to be finals, which is why we're talking about every single image that comes through. We have a score of 89. Great discussion, and I'm sure the entrant is going to love listening to that. We have our next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 79, and you are all really quite close there. Could I get a comment from Kat, please?
Yeah, this has massive potential. The moment is absolutely there, and I think everything extraneous to that is not contributing to this image. The Mickey Mouse sandals don't particularly help. Keep this same image, it's beautiful, but crop on in, be it a circle, an oval around that delightful, tender moment between presumably mother and child. Well done.
Thank you, excellent feedback. Okay, before we have our next image, Lacey, can I get you to come on for Vicky? Jacinta, can I get you to come on for Emily? And we'll stay there for a moment. And next image, please. If you haven't got your tickets for the after party, which is Sunday the 14th of July at the Wayside Inn, South Melbourne, make sure you grab those. You can get those available on the Australian Photographic Prize website. It's always a lot of fun. Photographers do know how to party. And I think it's because we have such an isolated job when you think about it. So when we get together, we really do want to let it loose. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 84. And Kat has her hand up with a challenge on 93.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to be, I thought you would all be there with me. This is expertly done. This is highly crafted, but still has a sense of authenticity. The narrative is quite strong in terms of what I'm assuming is a mother and child. The falling petal is what elevates this image up into the gold range for me. It's very poignant, representing a loss of something, be that, is it a loss of another sister? Is it a loss of the grandmother? Is it a loss of youth? Who knows? I'm appreciating that it's telling me that there is some sort of sense of loss and misery here, but it's not hand-feeding to me what the exact story is. The delightful sort of mirroring of shape and colour and ruffle with the literal ruffles of the material, the hair and the flower itself is magic. Makes a nice sort of, a triangular shape that I'm happy to travel around and keep asking. Technically, it's been beautifully handled. Nothing appears to me to be overexposed or, its tones are beautiful, the connection's there. Yeah, exceptional visual and emotional impact. I'm there. Let's talk about it.
All right, Nathan.
Let's please talk about it. Oof. The story, yes. From here, from the back of the room, I see a story. There's a petal losing, there's a daughter, there's a mother. Oof, this is going to be one of those images. But there's high key, and then there's loss of information, and then there's texture, and then there's loss of information. And I'm losing information in these highlights. I think maybe they are blown out. Everything is soft, but that texture should be a little bit more textury. So I'm wondering whether it's just a little bit bright to the point of zero contrast. Not zero contrast, sorry. So I'm a bit lost on those technicals. So I thought, we better pull it down from gold because of technicals. Talk me out of it. There's 3 more of you to talk. And then somebody tell me about this expression, because the daughter on her own looks like she's got it. And then the mum looks like she's trying to get the right face. I don't quite believe it completely yet, even though the concept from the back of the room is really quite strong. So please, I need to hear more voices.
Fiona?
Yeah, Kat, I was there with you. Nathan, me too. Everything was beautiful and delicious, and from back in my seat, started at gold and went, right, where in gold? And then I got to Mum's expression, which I'm assuming is Mum in the back, on the left. She's a little too happy. She's not contemplative, she's not supportive, she's not understanding. The expression is not the conviction I was looking for if we're expressing loss. Everything else about this image I really enjoyed. I just hoped there may have been another frame where the face was a little more convincing to the narrative.
All right, Kat, if I can get a writer reply, please.
Yeah, I'm actually really appreciating the sort of chalkiness of this image. It works for me, and it's obviously just, we have different opinions, and that is perfectly okay. The composition is completely on point. It's balanced. It's beautiful. I would hang this on my wall, and I've got no idea who these people are. I think it's beautifully done. What's it sitting on, sorry, Kelly?
It's currently sitting at 84.
84, okay. At the very least, this is a high silver, but I am asking you to consider gold.
All right, thank you, judges. Kat, if you can keep your score at 93, and if you could re-enter your scores, thank you. All right, we do have movement to an 87. Great conversation. Next image, please. That's what it's all about, which is why we have 5 judges. They each bring their own experience and knowledge to every image being judged. And sometimes one judge will see something a little different to another judge, and that's why we have these conversations. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 77. All right, and again, you're all relatively close there. Can I get a comment, please, Lacey?
Yeah, I think that this has been very creatively framed, and I think that that works really well. I think perhaps repositioning the posing of some of these characters would also help elevate this and lead our eye around. Due to some of the contrasting in the shapes, we kind of lose the people in the outer corners of that shape. Yeah, but well done to the photographer. Great concept. Keep working with it.
Okay, great. Thank you very much. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 79. And again, you're all really quite close there. Kat, can I get a comment from you, please?
Congratulations to the photographer. This is a really, really nice, pleasant family image. Beautiful expressions, some engagement going on, and the dog looking into the family is great as well. In terms of awards, to elevate this, what else? You know what I mean? Like, it's a lovely capture, but what else can you give us to tell us a bit more about this family?
Yeah, and Jacinta, a quick comment.
Just one thing, what's your horizon line? I think it's quite distracting. If that wasn't there, it definitely could have lifted a little bit more.
Yeah, changing the perspective
Yeah,
of your...
perspective. Go a bit
your,
lower.
Yeah, absolutely. Great feedback. Thank you, judges. We might do another quick change. Can I get our three lovely judges on the bench to come in for our three lovely judges in the centre? And we'll have our next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 77. And again, you're all very, very close there to that average. Jacinta, yeah, can I get a comment, please?
Same thing, I think, as what we said before. Great capture, beautiful connection between the family. Again, just watch your horizon line. Try going down a little bit lower, changing your perspective to get right in close on those expressions.
Excellent feedback. Thank you. Next image, please. Oh, sorry. Did you want to add something? No? We're good. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 79. And Emily, can I get a comment from you, please?
The posing is spot on, the toning is beautiful. I love the way Bub is holding that little foot. That's very, very special. I think some of the elements that have been added just are lacking realism for me in a sense, which didn't bring me up a little bit higher, but definitely solid. Well done.
Thank you. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 78. Can I get a comment, please, Vicky?
Congratulations, that's beautiful professional photo. Somebody made a comment before about arms and legs. I think you've done a great job with the number that you've got there. This is real life. It looks like real life with twins. It can be a bit messy. So the story is really strong. It's very beautifully done.
Great frame within a frame. Next image, please. Thank you, judges. We have a score of 76. And again, you're all really quite close there. Alan, can I get a comment from you, please?
You've done really well with your silhouette here. You're getting the faces in perfectly, so they're actually looking at each other, so you can actually see the full silhouette of the faces. I think your composition within this frame could be better. I feel that there's a little bit too much empty space at the bottom, and it looks like you've got this amazing background behind you. So even if it was a wider shot, which could add to a story about these two being, you know, they're everything to each other, and there's lots of that could be done if it was a wider crop.
All right, thank you. Excellent feedback. And that, judges, was our last image of this category. All right, so I want to say thank you to every single one of our amazing judges for giving us all of their insightful feedback and experience, for helping our entrants, also to our scribe for helping us throughout this entire process. Yeah.
And also to Kelly
thank
Brown,
you.
who has done an amazing job.
Do you know, I will just sort of quickly say on behalf of all of our judges and myself and our scribes, everyone here, we're here because we believe in what this does for the industry. We want to see the photographers that enter get great feedback. We want them to be rewarded for their hard work, and we want to continue to see our industry grow and thrive. So the more we contribute to things like this, the more we get involved, the better the outcome for everybody, not just the individual entrants. So thank you to everyone for being here. It is an absolute honour. And thanks for everyone online for joining us.